Right, the guide to cooking a perfect steak. Hot pan. The secret here is to make sure that we literally sear the steak and not boil it. Season it first. Beautifully done. Get some nice large grains of pepper, so you got a nice bit of heat. Mop up all that seasoning and sort of push in. The four most important parts to make sure you take them out of the fridge 20 minutes before you actually start cooking them. Cooking a steak that's stone cold in the centre, you're going to have to overcook it on the outside. Pan's just started smoking, touch of oil in, roll that round, and then just lay the steaks away, always away from you, and let the pan do the work. That's the kind of noise you want to hear in the pan every time. That nice sear. Again, pair of tongs, turn it over very carefully. Literally 30 seconds in the pan, you can see the colour. Beautiful. That layer of fat on the back of the sirloin, you want to render that down as well. That's it there. So hit that into the pan. Use the pan to your advantage. Tilt the pan, let all that hot fat, olive oil run down the back, and it starts to sear the steak even better. You put a little bit of garlic in. Nice little flavour of the steaks. Doesn't need to be peeled. Just lightly crush and then that gives a really nice flavour to the steak. Turning every minute so you've got that nice even colour. And if you're turning your steaks every minute, it starts to cook evenly. A little bit of thyme. It's really nice to get that nice fragrant smell of thyme. And a touch more. I quite like my steaks rare, so rare is here, opposite the palm, at the top. Medium is there, and well done is at the top of your wrist. And now, I'm going to start off with my butter. Little knobs of butter. And this is where the steak starts to take on a completely different flavour. Tilt the pan, then just baste the steaks. That fried thyme, that garlic. Nothing's burning, and that's why we start off with olive oil. Get the garlic and sort of brush the garlic over. Off with the gas. Take them out. Beautiful. Let them rest. And off. And then from there, slice. Rare, going on to medium rare. Delicious.
I'm back home, up here in Scotland, in Greenock, where my grandfather used to have a butcher's shop, and I'm here to see if it's still there.
When my grandfather came back from the war in 1945, he opened a butcher's on Greenock's bustling High Street. In those days, everyone bought their meat from the local butcher, and there were queues outside the shop. And it wasn't just like that in Greenock. When I was a kid, everyone bought their meat from local butchers, like my grandfather's. But Britain's butchers are beginning to look like an endangered species.
Where'd you get your meat from?
Tesco's. Tesco's.
Out of Tesco's?
Out of Tesco's. Tesco's.
Supermarkets?
Yes.
And what's wrong with your butchers?
We've got one.
I found it. Now, according to these photographs, this is where my grandfather's butcher shop used to be, and it's actually a sort of health food shop now, which is quite sad in a way, because all I remember from him in the early days is just how long and how hard he used to work.
My dad's shop was just there.
That's right, yes, used to be, that's right, yes, Monroe's.
These days, 75% of our meat is bought from supermarkets, and sadly, butcher shops are closing across the UK. And it's not just the lack of customers that threatens our high street butchers. They're also struggling to find people who want to work in them.
Ever thought about becoming a butcher?
No, never.
Would you ever consider becoming a butcher?
No.
You're leaving school in a couple of years' time? Yeah? Ever thought about becoming a butcher?
No.
Why not?
Because it smells.
If we lose the high street butcher, we lose a crucial food skill.
The average age of a British butcher today is 57 years of age. So if there's any chance of the high street butcher surviving, we've got to encourage more youngsters to come into the industry. I'm here in Leeds at the Thomas Danby College to see if there's a glimmer of hope. Morning, guys. How are we?
These three 17-year-old lads are bucking the trend and training to be skilled butchers at one of the few colleges that still offer a butchery course.
What's your ambitions?
Hopefully to take over my father's shop. He's got a shop in the Borough Market. Women like butchers.
I thought it was firemen.
No, butchers.
So butchers are the new firemen, right?
They love a good butcher.
They love a good butcher.
If these lads are going to succeed, they need to know how to cut meat. But they also need to understand how to cook it.
OK, cooking the steak. It's a big advantage when customers walk in and ask you how to cook a steak perfectly.
I've got a fail-safe trick to make sure your steak is cooked perfectly every time.
So we've got rare, medium. Well done, it's just there. Is that nice and rare?
Yep.
Yep. That is a rare steak. Danny, how you cooked yours? Medium. Good man. So, touch it. How's that cooked? Cool, fucking hell, yeah, that is well done, yeah. Looks like a pair of Dr. Martens. And you cooked this for your girlfriend 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Is she still with you?
Yeah.
Is she still chewing as well? Give these guys a chance and support your local butchers. These guys are here to stay, and we need more of them.
It's almost like sort of rewinding, giving birth. You know, you're putting it back in once it's been born.